everybody, welcome to today's video where I will be discussing and analyzing chapter 136 of the Attack on Titan manga. Overall, I thought this was a really good chapter with a lot of great developmental moments for many of the characters, particularly Armin and Levi. We really got to see into their thoughts about the current situation, even if the plot hasn't necessarily been moved forward a whole lot. I also really loved the art this chapter. There were a lot of really great shots with cool perspective, especially during Peak's fight scene. Plus it was all super readable as opposed to other mangas where the action gets a bit jumbled. So let's just get right into the analysis. We start off the chapter with the people of Marley seeing Falco's flying titan for the first time. Annie's father is there, so is Reiner's mother, and Onyakapon, who is in critical condition. On top of Falco, everyone was super surprised to see Annie, but Gabby said that they can fight too, so of course they came. It reminded me of what Eren said back in season 1, if those with strength don't fight, then who will? Reiner brings up Falco's promise to keep Gabby safe, which is a lot to put on his shoulders. Originally, he just had to beat her and become the armored titan, and that's already a lot to ask of a young kid. But the system is broken now and the world is ending, so how is he supposed to protect her anymore? It's not like he flew her directly to the rumbling or anything. Annie stops herself from asking about Armin and asks about Peak instead, but wife Mikasa knows what she really cares about. I have a feeling that Annie wasn't just being shy about this, but that she really thought that Armin was already dead. She realized that she wouldn't be able to handle hearing the truth out loud, so she stopped herself. But Mikasa tells her that he's been taken away and asks for her help to get him back. It's super ironic that Annie said Mikasa's childhood friends always get kidnapped because Annie was literally the first one who tried to kidnap Eren. Levi says that they're gonna get Armin back and blow up Eren's neck at the same time, even though none of them want to kill Eren. They all still have so much to say to him, but they were too naive to think that they really had a choice. Jean is the one who confirms to Mikasa that they have to kill him, and you can see how much it pained both of them. Annie again comforts Mikasa, who's on the verge of tears because this is literally the worst thing that she can think of at the moment. She doesn't want to lose her family again. Actually, ever since Annie's come back, there's been a strong focus on her and Mikasa's relationship. They've had a lot of development post-time skip, probably even more than both Eren and Mikasa and Armin and Annie. Gabby brings up the weird spine thing that came out of Eren when she decapitated him, which looks like the same thing that originally clung to Ymir when she fell into the tree. It seems to be the origin of the Titans. It's some kind of organic matter. There's a possibility that if they destroy the spine, they could destroy the Titan powers completely, which is what I want to happen. On a side note, the decapitation imagery is very strong for both Eren and Levi. So the scene breaks and we move to see the Eldians and Marleyans on the ground. It was very disappointing to see that the hate for Eldians has not gone away despite the speech from chapter 134. That Marley official literally said that it was everybody's fault and that they're all done with the age of mutual hatred. But here they are discriminating against Eldians literally the same day that the speech was made. At first I really thought that the alliance was right and that Eren has done enough to stomp out the hatred, but even with the end of the world at their front door, Marley still can't break the cycle. So the alliance is heading back over towards Eren and a line of Warhammer Titans set up to shoot Falco out of the sky. If you look closely, you can see Connie holding tightly onto Levi as Falco whooshes around because he doesn't have enough strength to hold on to the rope by himself. Connie's definitely checking up on Levi a lot this chapter. He's also always been very considerate of others all the way back to the very beginning of the story when he carried Armin through Trost princess style. Reiner and Jean head off to Eren's head while Mikasa, Connie, and Annie head to get Armin. I find it interesting how Reiner and Jean have totally teamed up these past few chapters, which is really only a few days after Jean told Reiner that he would never forgive him for killing Marco. Jean has come to understand him and forgive him, and now they work towards a common goal. The thing is, Jean and Reiner also have a very deep understanding of Eren and why he's continuing to move forward. They might actually be the two people who understand Eren the most right now. So moving on, we get to see that Peak is still alive, and honestly she popped off this chapter and last chapter. But this was the first time that we had a fight scene really focus on Peak and show off some of her fighting skills. It might have been the first on-screen cart Titan transformation, and I think it's gonna look so cool animated. I know Jean was in a hurry, but listen to the queen when she's talking to you. I will say, it is a bit worrying that the past two chapters have emphasized Peak in some way. It may mean that her death is approaching. The shot cuts back to Mikasa and Annie on top of Falco looking for the Titan who stole Armin, and they really are bickering like a married couple. Annie acknowledges Bertold's death, which is nice because he did love her for years. Then they jump off of Falco, and this time time it's Annie's turn to get the cool wing shot. We cut back to the top of Falco again with Gabby and Levi, an odd duo, but it's interesting to see their dynamic. I can't help but think of how different this fight would be going if Levi was in perfect health. He'd be jumping through the air, cutting through the Titans like butter, but even then, would it actually make a difference? We finally get a look into Levi's thoughts about what's happening, and honestly, it made me really sad. I find it interesting that Erwin looks so sad in Levi's memory, because when the scene actually happened, he smiled at Levi. Levi feels so guilty for not being able to fulfill the promise he made to Erwin that in his head, Erwin is disappointed in him. Levi said that he would kill the Beast Titan, and that was the final hope that Erwin needed to be able to charge to his death. But Erwin didn't understand the full picture. None of them did at the time. If he was still alive, he would understand how the situation has changed and would tell Levi that it's okay. It's interesting to compare Zeke and Levi to Reiner and Jean. Jean forgave Reiner and now has to work with him, but Levi might not be strong enough to let go of his promise to Erwin. It may even come to a situation where Armin and Zeke work out a plan together and Levi throws it completely by killing Zeke. At this point, Levi can't even fight, so he's left wondering what his role even is anymore. He wonders if it may have already ended when he got the kids to the ocean. He finally says out loud that he doesn't regret choosing Armin and entrusting the future to that kid who had the same look in his eyes as Erwin. Because that's what Armin is. He's the hopeful future, not just for Levi, but for everybody. Levi's the only veteran soldier left, so maybe he thinks it's time to fully pass the torch to Armin like both Erwin and Hanji did. The shot goes back to Connie, Annie, and Mikasa, who are of course being overwhelmed by Titans. Even though they're all strong fighters, there's just too many of them and they keep coming. Annie literally chucks Mikasa towards the Okapi, another really cool panel. They've gone from rivals to working together and protecting one another. Moving on, we got another view from Armin's perspective. He's screaming and pleading with his body that seems to be lying dead on the ground. Armin has always been his own worst enemy. He's the only one holding himself back. Everyone else believes in him and has put their faith in him, and he doesn't want to let them down. He has so much responsibility that he never asked for, and he hates himself for not being able to live up to the expectations. Armin is so positive and hopeful about everything but himself, so it really hurts to hear him say that he hates himself. In his rage, he realizes that he's in paths and turns around to find Zeke playing in the sand. For a while, I did think that Zeke was stuck in paths, but after last chapter where we saw his Titan being used, I thought he was dead. Maybe his body is really dead, but his consciousness is trapped in paths similar to how Ymir was for the last 2,000 years. It might mean that Armin is now trapped in there as well, and will probably have to confront Ymir at some point. Either way, they've got to try to come up with some sort of plan, and if Zeke is still alive, then Levi is finally gonna have to decide whether to kill him or not. In any case, we only have 3 more chapters left of the entire series, and there's so much that has yet to be solved. Honestly, I'd be devastated if any of the remaining characters die, but I feel like it's inevitable. I've already made a video on who I think will die by the end, but it still hasn't prepared me for the reality of what might happen. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, comment the candle emoji, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!